Hello there, my name is Andy Robertson. I'll be your examiner today. Can I start by asking your name, please?
Well, my name is Phú. I'm 16 years old, in Nguyen for high school, university in
Okay, that's fine. That's all I need. So first of all, we're going to start with section 1 of the speaking test. There are 3 sections, and we're going to begin with section 1, which is an everyday conversation about everyday personal topics. So my first question from section 1 is, do you prefer to work or study in the morning or later in the day, and why?
Well, I prefer to study in the morning because when the start of the morning, I have a lot of energy for the whole day. When it's late of the evening, I don't have energy to work anymore. I would like to relax in the evening.
Okay, fine. And then let me ask you another question. This is about happiness. Why can pets make people happy?
Pets could make people happiness because what they do, when we play together with them, and also when we hit them, we play with them, they also make us feel happy because what they do, a little bit strange for human, but it's so cute.
Okay, fine. And I'm going to move on now to photography. The question is, what are the dangers of having photographs taken today with regard to the internet?
Well, I think the photographer have a little bit dangerous from the internet nowadays. There's a lot of the internet. A lot of people use them to create more editing on the internet, and they change the real things.
This is about the seasons, okay? The question is, what is your favorite season?
I think it is autumn, because it's the start when I go back to school after the summer, and I like the weather of autumn. It's quite cool, but not so hot and not so cold. I really like to go to school with my friends because that is good weather to learn at school.
To learn at school. Okay, fine. And then one final question for part 1. The question is, when you visit a foreign country, do you try to learn some of the language? Why or why not?
Actually, yes. I'd like to learn more about their language, a little bit with their cultures. Because when I go there, I have to talk with them and to try learn more about their culture. So I need to learn about their language to understand them.
Okay, fine. That's the end of part 1. Okay, so we're now going to do part 2 speaking. Part 2 speaking is a short presentation of 1 to 2 minutes, and you have 60 seconds to prepare, and then you must present for up to 2 minutes. All right? So I will give you my question here. The question is, describe a memorable teacher. You should say who this teacher was, what this teacher taught, where you knew this teacher, and briefly explain why this teacher is so memorable. All right? And I'm going to check my watch here. Okay, you have exactly 60 seconds to make notes, and you can use the pen and paper. All right? Starting now. Thumbs up. You now have 2 minutes, up to 2 minutes, to respond, starting now.
I'll tell you about my memorable teachers. He's Mr. Thick, and Chinese name to English is Mr. Sky. He's taught me math when I'm in secondary school, when I'm in grade 9. I really love him because these characters, he very kind and just good behavior to our students. Also, I really love his subject is math, so I'd like to choose him. He's one of the best teacher in my high school, in secondary school, and I love him. Also, he sometimes tell us about his story when he came to the universities, and also we also have some relaxing time after this class.
You have 1 minute left.
So, this teacher is so memorable for me, is because he's have once literally take me to his house, and we have the breakfast before the traveling with our school, and we call him our father in secondary school because we love him and very respect him so much.
Okay, fine. And then let's move on to part 3 speaking. Part 3 speaking is an academic or topical discussion. It's a little bit different from part 1. In part 3, you can give your opinion, and it's about the world in general. It's not only about you. Okay, so part 3, about teachers. The question is, what are the qualities, the personal qualities, that make a good teacher?
I think that is the good behavior and...
Can you be more specific? What particular qualities?
I can just be kindness and generous.
Kindness.
And
okay.
Generous. I can just be kindness and generous because for the teachers, they teach kindness for students, and also that would be make them, their students feel good about them, and also they would be more focused on what he teach.
So I will agree with you that a teacher should be kind and as you said, but what the teacher should really be measured on also, of course, is how well they teach. So what other qualities are important? It's nice to have a kind teacher, but is that the most important?
I think that is their knowledge.
Their knowledge, okay. For example?
For example, some teachers of math or chemistry,
yeah,
they need to use some example of our daily life to make the student easier understand about what they are teaching.
Okay, fine. And one more question for you here. Should education be delivered to single-sex or mixed-sex classes? That means to boys and girls separately or boys and girls together in the classroom.
I think the situation between boys and girls learning together is better when they're talking another social there of them.
So we're not talking about living together, we're talking about in education in the classroom.
When you start learning together, that would make them feel maybe more interested in learning, like just some kind of student, they like to understand more of other social, not similar to them.
Okay, and let me give you one more question then. The question is, what can governments do to improve the job that teachers do?
I think and you should improve the salaries of the teachers.
Okay.
For example, for some country in Asia, a lot of teachers, they don't have the high salary, so they start to teach out of the class. So they don't really focusing on teaching at school. They just focus on to teaching of the class to have more money to have their family or themselves. So government should improve their salaries to let them focusing in the teaching in the school.
Anything else? Can you think of a second thing the government can do?
Some trip for them, some traveling for them, to make them have some relaxing after working at school, and also to make them have some more knowledge about daily life, to easier to teaching for students.
Okay. Okay, fine. I think that's it. Thank you very much indeed for answering all my questions. And now I'll give you some feedback, okay? So I'll start with the positives. All the way through the test, you maintained quite good fluency. And I noticed that you used fluency markers very well. Your pace is very good. You don't speak too quick. You don't speak too slowly. And I can understand clearly everything you're saying. So in terms of your delivery and fluency, I would say good to very good, okay? In terms of your content, that means what you said, the way you answered, your part 1 questions were not very well developed. You didn't give any examples in your part 1 questions. You answered directly, that's good, but you didn't provide any examples. So a really good formula for part 1 speaking is to provide 2 supporting details and 2 examples, okay, as well as your main answer to develop your coherence to have a higher content score. Does that make sense? And the other one is your vocab, not too bad actually, quite okay. You have a range of vocab. However, your grammar was quite weak. I noticed that you repeatedly made mistakes in plural single, okay? Sometimes you pluralized words like university to universities and teachers from teacher, and in other times you forgot to pluralize. Also, when you were describing what makes a good teacher, you used the wrong tense. You said is, but the question, if you look at the card, is all in the past. So he was this kind of teacher. Same in part 1, you used the wrong tense. So the examiner in a real test is going to be looking for, are you using the correct basic tense? So definitely focus on your plural noun. You're correct. Simple tense. Also, verb and subject agreement. You said it have, it has, stuff like this. And also a smaller thing. You're confusing verbs and adjectives and adverbs. You said easy to do, can easily do. It's an adverb, can you see? So definitely work on your basic level grammar. But pretty good content. Just need more examples. Clear delivery, good pacing, and I can understand your English quite clearly. That's a very big positive. Your lowest score will certainly be in grammatical accuracy, because you're making maybe 3 or 4 of the top 5 mistakes all the way through the test. So I would focus on good grammar. The rest is pretty good. So well done. And I think you managed your time extremely well. I think that's a common mistake for students, to speak too quickly or not speak clearly. This is a really good positive for you. So well done. That's it. That's my feedback.